Tell them. They'll never know if you don't tell them.
Yeah, so maybe do you have any questions and thoughts before we start? I'd love to just hear the song and what we're working with. And about our session today, feel free to ask questions, give me a shout if there's anything you're not certain about asking, you're not sure you understand what I'm saying. I want you to So I'd like us to make a little agreement, right? The song is at whatever place in knowing it it's going to be, right? However well you know it right now, that's as well as you're going to know it for the session. So let's try and park those concerns. There's going to be words and notes and things and rhythms you're going to be missing, but that's okay, because we still have lots of time with the song and you can do that later. So try and free yourself from that so we can do a little bit more experimenting, sort of storytelling. Right? Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. So first of all, you have a very pleasant sound throughout. It's nice and consistent. It makes me very at ease listening to it. And what I'm going to be looking for is sort of all the contrast and all the nuance and everything that we can do in order to keep our audience engaged. Because right now, what it is consistent and it's a little predictable. Right? We get a lot of the same from start to finish in the song. And that is not what we want when it comes to how do we keep our audience on the edge of their seats. Instead of reclined and enjoying, for sure, but reclined because they're well comfortable with what we're doing. Right? I like starting at the end of this, right? How do we sing? Sorry, this is in terms of talking. Right? We sing to communicate. We sing because we want to achieve something. There's a reason we are singing this song. So, my question to you, and there's no right or wrong answer, that's going to be true for all of this session. We're just exploring and we're going to be throwing ideas. Right? What, if everything goes well, what do you have or what do you have achieved at the end of singing this song after you're done singing?
First, very happy part.
Very happy partner. Person we're singing to knows that we're committed. Okay.
Running into the garden to find the moon and the stars.
It finishes with a very high energy. It
Very
starts
high.
quite kind of thinking and it finishes really high energy. It's really exciting. It's
Yeah, and so, right, and a lot of this is along the same, I'd say, sort of along the same stretch, right? So high energy is not just because of what we're creating, but also what the person we're listening to is giving us, right? So we have some sense of a yes, of commitment, of like promising to have fun together, right? There's something energetic about that. Now here's the thing with storytelling. If that's where we're ending, that means we can't have the conclusion for the majority of the song, right? And right now, I think we have a lot of that sort of higher energy throughout. Okay, so then we go to the very, and then we'll fill in sort of everything in between, right? But then the very beginning, what causes us to start singing? And I like to think about this sort of from a musical theater perspective, right? But there's something, an event, something that triggers us that makes us start singing Old Devil Moon to this person at this time. What might have just happened? What causes you to start singing that song?
They're confused, bewildered, because they're feeling something they haven't felt before.
Yeah, right? There's a lot of, on the one hand, the lyrics imply that we're really enjoying this feeling. There's also something uncomfortable about it.
I mean, when it says just when I think of things, it's always more or less then it's not free anymore, like, oh, she, you know, like, that committed to something, and that's why it's at the end of the song, so I think it's working through this.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to dig in for a little bit more. So what just happened if ingredients are visible versus feeling at the start? Realize it probably well. Right. And that could very well be a trigger. And then we go through this entire process in the song trying to figure out, am I happy to be free or am I happy to be like enchanted, bewitched by you, right? Because that's kind of the back and forth that exists in the lyrics, right? It's like, arguments. There's no right or wrong answers to how we're going to be approaching this music. But we have ideas and choices. And the only way we know if they're going to work for us is to try playing with it. And then we can say, like, oh, that felt good, or oh, that was effective on me. Or, no, that didn't quite feel right. I don't think that's quite what we're going for. And what we think and what we imagine is what informs how we feel and also how we sing. And so right now, I'm going to give you one job, and we're going to start at the start of the song. And that is to imagine that you've just been unexpectedly kissed.
In a good way.
In a, like, and you started to sing this song with your response to that happening.
Those gotta be in here. You gotta be running because we're having culture.
And so your job right now is to prepare to imagine so that when the pitch is going, you're not just thinking about words and notes, right? But we're adding this layer of meaning. Let's see what that is. What circumstances may be. Right? And this is the magic to me of performance, is that we're human. We all have these experiences. We have a life worth of experiences, and we know how to feel emotions, how to express them. And the only thing we have to do, and it's not an easy thing, right? It's to get the singer brain out of the way. So like, oh, I'm singing, and now all of a sudden, right, I'm no longer fully human. I'm more like half robot. Because that's a tendency somehow we all get into. And what we're working at is just to take away those obstacles and to just allow yourself to be human and human. Let's give that another run through, right? So imagine it, feel it, hear the pitch.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly.
And this is consistently now a different start. Right? And this is like this is the beauty of like, having a retro from it. Becky is your mirror, right? You make choices, you try things, and she'll reflect to you whether they're effective, whether they convey the happy retro, which means really great things. So, and then going into the first verse, we kind of like, right? What's happening? It's that's a choice. Sorry? That's not a word. It doesn't inherently mean anything. But there's a reason it's there. It means a lot. Right? So when light we go, what does that feel like for you? Sorry?
When you understand.
Understand something? Yeah, like there's sort of aha. Right?
When you're trying to figure out how to express something, like you just kind of,
Yeah. Yeah. And we can also be more like sort of easing into something. Like, right? Smooth. So here we have at least like 3-4 distinct things that this can mean. Right? It's not, we can put something like this. So let's just go back to so what if this is kind of sort of right? How would that feel? How would that sound? So we're gonna start at the beginning. We're just sort of building. So same feeling, same preparation on the start. And then that
Everything about you blinds me with your love.
suddenly, right? That's sort of you realize that something happens whenever you do it. Okay, from the side.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see.
That was not surprise. It's something else. That was very effective. For your mind.
Right. So we were parking that option for
Go down 1300.
generally, right? It's like what we were talking about earlier, we have to be mindful of how much we're giving away to children. And sort of as far as we go right now, that stops being effective. So if we go more to the teasing, flirtatious, like sexiness, then that's kind of a tool that we're lacking for the rest of the song. And that's probably a shame in the development of the piece. So we're just going to try it again. This time we're really aiming for surprise, realizing, oh, you have an effect on me. Something happens when I look at you. Right? Do another try.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see, and it's bewitching me.
Go to that one. How was that for you?
I like that.
Yeah. Right? So this is a lot of what we're doing, right? Is we explore like what are the potential angles, what are the potential interpretations, and we try them out until we find something that works for new risers, for the vision that our director has for the music, right? This is sort of our co-creation. And that doesn't mean that we'll always be able to find a choice that works for everyone. Sometimes, right, we as a chorus, we make a choice. And the important thing is that we all commit to whatever choice we're going to make. One more thing about the intro, right? If you actually blind with your love and blinded with your love. It's kind of a repeat. And an important rule of thumb is that when we say the same things twice, we can't mean the same things twice. And right now it kind of does. Right? I'm blinded with your love, I'm blinded by your love. So we have choices there. Right? Why are we echoing that? Is it reiterating? Yeah.
Yeah.
Realization. Right? Sometimes we say something and the words are out of our mouth before we even realize it. I'm blinded by your love. I'm blinded by your love. And it's like, oh, whoa, my brain hasn't quite caught up with the words that came out of my mouth. Shall we try that? Making that meaning of that echo.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly.
Right? So, right? And that's the reason, so the comment here was that helps the eye. The reason why we're back to this, because I realized that the eye wasn't connected at both ends. And what I mean with it, there's something that leads up to the realization, and then it needs to go somewhere. And sort of the piece before it was missing. That was kind of what happened. It was like, oh no, we actually need to go back to that echo. I want to make you aware of something else, right? The only thing I'm asking you is to give meaning to the thing you're saying. And it does a whole lot for what you're doing vocally, musically, dynamically, right? You are making musical and performative choices without us up front telling you exactly what you're going to do. It's like, oh, then you're going to sing quietly there, right, for effect. You're doing what comes natural to you, and there's agreement in this chorus about like, oh, if we're surprised, that has a certain vocal energy to it. And in fact, that is at a more detailed level than what we could do by telling you, oh, and then sort of like your inflection and your volume. But if I sort of like act surprised, like, whoa, oh, that was a lot to my voice compared to whoa. Yeah, I couldn't consciously describe everything that changes because we are like, connecting to what we know as a human. Right? So this is very much how the way I approach performance. And it does so much for other parts of our music. Cool. So we have an intro, right? And the next part for me is that there are going to be sections to our story, right? And there's going to be important moments where the story moves along. So I first like to work kind of in bigger chunks. And then depending on the time, because we don't have a whole lot of time together, right? We might be able to dig into a little bit more detail. That's kind of how we do it, right? First of all, we have an idea, a goal for the piece, an end point, starting point. We fill in the big chunks in between, and then we might go more to phrase or to word emphasis, right? There's all these layers we can peel off to improve the effectiveness of what we're doing. That's really what it means that. I'm just going to quickly reference the lyrics. And I'd say, put on the intro, looking at some of these, your eyes and seats, which begins to be what you need. The full devil moon, still from the skies, and the full devil moon deep in your eyes. I'd say that is probably a chunk, a section that we can handle. So we came out of an intro. We were unexpectedly kissed. We came to the realization of like, oh, whoa, I'm blinded by your love. And now what? What's happened?
Kids will be acting.
Witchcraft.
We're trying to
Yeah, but it's kind of like we're trying to make sense of it, kind of, and we're resorting to like you must be like trying to put a spell on me because probably I've never felt this way before. Because this is something that's entirely foreign and alien to me, so it must be magic, right? Because there's no other reasonable explanation for how I'm feeling. You see them in a different way. Yeah, the perspective suddenly changed. What's going on? Yeah, go ahead.
Taking you by surprise.
Taking you by surprise. Yeah. So let's play with that. With kind of that sort of that mystical, that magical sense of it, right? Really, that sense of I am feeling in a way that is not even human because like, I've never felt anything like this in my life. I adore. You've done that to me. Can we see if we can have that feeling at the start of the verse? No, I'd like to go from the start. And for the most part, we'll be doing that. And part of the reason is because the transitions are so important. Right? We have to know how intro and links into how we're then feeling in the verse. Right? So it's really building blocks that stack on top of each other.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see, and it soon leaves bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes.
Let's go to that part. We go to let's go another one. And this time I'd like your one job to be to really experience and taste each word as you're saying. These lyrics are very rich in terms of imagery and words you can really latch onto to help give meaning. So I'd really like to be conscious of what are these words that I'm saying, what do they mean, what do I want them to mean. Right? And just focus there for this verse. We're going to go last one.
Everything about you blinds me with your love.
already, like, that elevates that section, right? And there's so many words that goes like, suddenly, right? So that one word conveys so much meaning in this, like, it's not, oh, I've been doing this for a while, right? And said, no, like, larger. There's so many words in this one section that can help us perform it, right? And then it will change it. And this is what we're looking for, right? And the only constant should be change, right? We're always developing the story. We're always taking the next step. We're always taking the audience on the next step of our journey. That's kind of the way we're going to keep roping and pulling them in, keeping them with their full attention here. So then the question is, what will change? And those are the choices we have to make, right? Shining in your eyes, right? You have the bass pick up into you and your glance, make this romance too hot to handle. Stars in the night, raising their light, can't hold a candle to your razzle-dazzle. That's kind of like our next chunk. And I'm just looking for, when I'm saying chunk, I'm looking for like full phrases or lyrics that are similar in meaning, right? And I'd say this all connects to the same idea, which is, oh, it's certainly not here. Right? Candles, stars, too hot to handle.
Yes, generally it's active.
It's a bit sexy.
Yeah. Especially those little two parts.
Yes.
They're very like, I love
it.
Yeah.
Right, so maybe has a little bit of a teasing character as well, right? We're definitely exploring not only is like I'm attracted to you, I want some. Okay. That is what this section is. Can we, exactly, so can we approach this from a playful, flirtatious angle? And there also, right, the important thing is not to give away too much. That's the entire thing when it comes to flirtation and playfulness. Give them a little bit, but you're also, right, it's a little bit of back and forth. It's like a little bit of like, how do you want that?
Maybe go to the top page 2. It's that old moon that you stole from the sky. It's that old moon that sorry.
And it's going to be one section, right? So that means we are in sort of the mystical, magical, like, oh, well, what's happening to me? And we're transitioning to the playful, flirtatious when it comes. And the basses are going to be setting that up. In your shining in your eyes, that is the first moment where we're going to do.
It's that old moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old moon deep in your eyes. You and your glance make this romance too hot to handle, too hot. Stars in the night, blazing the light, candle to candle, no, not to your razzle dazzle. You got me high and wild.
It's getting shape. I got to just, and this is another thing I love to work with, and it's working with extremes, right? Because we have sort of a comfort zone, what we're comfortable expressing and performing on stage, and sometimes in order to find the right intensity, we first play with what it looks like overdoing it, just so we stretch that up a little bit, and then we go back to right? And then we go back, like if I say, go to 10 on playful flirtatious, I overdo it. Because we might end on 4 or 5, but we don't know what that feels like. We don't know what the absolute extreme of that feels like. So this time, I like to start in the same spot, And I'd like for you to make that transition to flirtatious playfulness as bigger than life as you can make it. Really fully committed. And right now, there's no such thing as too much. Right? Because this is not. This is not. Because this is not what we're going to be putting on stage. This is just for our own exploration.
It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. You and your plans make this romance too hot to handle, too hot. Stars in the night, blazing the light. Can't hold a candle, no, not to your razzle dazzle. You got me flying.
To there. And then the question.
You're not every
So, one of two things can happen, and both are perfect. Either we truly overdo it, and we just like figured out like how far we can go, or we find that we try to overdo it, and really we don't. We find it to an appropriate degree of like, intensity, and then that's also perfect, which is what happened here, where I saw no overdoing of this, but instead it just got more character. The change was more defined, right? And we're allowed to hit the audience over the head with our changes a little bit, right? I'd rather, especially as a starting point, I'd rather the changes be very obvious and a little bit sudden than so subtle that they might not feel that something's actually changing, right? So as a starting point, I like making the change big. So can we do that one more time, just for feeling, right? Remember where we're starting, right? We're starting with that mystical and that magical, and oh my goodness, what's happening to me? And then again, fully commit to that change of playful, flirtatious, fully go.
I think that what you guys did last time is like baseline in. Like, you wasn't even close to
No. There could even be a lot more before I'll tell you this.
Not you. No, but yes, everybody. And like, it probably felt like loads, but it came across beautifully. And it didn't come across like you were about to rip your clothes off. It was actually gorgeous and gentle and very nice.
And in general, I would encourage you to performance. Make bold choices. Go far and trust your leadership up front to tell you when something is too much. Right? Because that is the way to, first of all, do something like make art for yourself, but also to really elevate like what this ensemble can do. It's for each one of you individually to make bold and artistic choices. Right? And the only thing you're really doing out front is to make sure that it fits in the whole of what the ensemble is.
Same place.
It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. You and your plans make this romance too hot to handle, too hot. Stars in the night, blazing the light. Can't hold a candle, no, not to your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high and wide.
That was gorgeous. Thank you.
Absolutely. So then, next thing, right? We're razzle dazzle, you still not feel, and then we're transitioning again. There's always reference to lyrics. You've got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride full of butterflies inside, deep inside, right? Next chunk of the song. What's happening here? What are we expressing? Like on the carpet flying high, Aladdin scene, Holy World, kind of, right?
But it's kind of a bit uncontrolled as well. It's scary.
Something never done before by this person.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one else knows what it is. You and me know.
right? It's sort of our little secret, and the butterflies really imply like it is definitely scary also, right? We really don't know what we're in for at this point, but we kind of know we want it, and we're scared of it, and we're so right. That's kind of what we're grappling with. It's like, do I want to? Oh, it feels really good. Ooh, and then we don't know, right? It's kind of what we want to be feeling, and a lot of songs you'll find are about some sort of back and forth, back and forth. And that's part of what's interesting for the audience. It's because if we give them a lot of, ooh, it's really scary, it's also really cool, right? Then their question to us is, how will they? What's next? Will you go for it? Or will you be too scared to choose? And that's part of what keeps stories engaging, is that we are so involved, we care so much, and we want to know how it ends. So here, can we fully lean in? I'd say lean into the butterflies, right? To that part. Because also flying, right? Flying can also feel like falling, depending on how secure you feel. Right? Trust me, I will get to that.
Will we go from the stars of the night? Let's see if that's a puzzle first. That's the tennis. Stars in the night, that's the stars in the night. Stars in the night. That's it. I have to find the octave for you guys.
Stars in the night, blazing the light, candle to candle, hold out to your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, inside. I wanna cry, I wanna croon.
There we go, we have to the same spot. Right? So when you're really feeling butterflies, right? How confident are you? Right? So I think right now I got a fair amount of confidence that for me is in contrast to what we were trying to convey. So can we, and right now we're just making choices, and I'd like to fully commit to the nervous excitement of ooh, almost a little shake of ooh.
What do you need, Cal? Oh, dear. Okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
You want this?
Stars in the night, blazing the light, candle to candle, hold out to your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, inside. I wanna cry, I wanna croon.
Yes, this is really getting shake. And so what you're doing is I'm just going to naturally lean into it. You're absolutely bored with it. Like now we get more of like soaring excitement on flying high, and then really the nervousness on the butterflies on that line. That's perfect. Can we make that change even bigger? Can we really soar on that flying high? Feels amazing. Butterflies inside. Or can we then really go for making that, really committed to those choices?
And choose it earlier, not just on the regular flight, but on even just before the eye, you're like, oh, we go, I'm home! Okay, same place. Stars in the night, stars in the night, stars in the night. Okay, so now base. 1, 2, 3.
Stars in the night, blazing the light, candle to candle, hold out to your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. I'm full
And the intro is about realizing what's happening, like what that does to you. Right? Including the echo and the ah. And then where are we at the start of the verse? Right? Look at you. Magic. Spellbound. Never felt like this before. Until we get to the bases that is shining in your eyes, which is where the bases lead us into that playful, flirtatious, right? And again, and that goes for all these choices, right? We're committing to every choice we make. That's all that asking. Right? That's the only thing we need is your individual commitment. Shining in your eyes, too hot to handle, razzle, dazzle you. You've got me flying high and wide, soaring, like really, like the exhilaration, I guess. Maybe that's the word that I'm always looking for. What does it feel like? It feels like something flying like a bird, right? It's like, oh, free, exhilarating. Anyway, we'll come back to the freedom, right? But for now.
It's also terrifying. I mean, I'm thinking of it's Latin on the magic wand, and it's out of, like, it's you're out of control, really.
So, and we're looking more, I think, into the exhilaration right now, so that for the butterflies, we can really lean into the sense of, because it's definitely there, it's like, oh, but also the flip side, which is right out of control. Any questions, any thoughts so far before you run?
Can I add just one thing about the beginning of the verse? We are accusing them of witchcraft and theft. This isn't like, it's very nice witchcraft, and you stole that from the sky, put it back. So there's it's a little bit accusing as well. Yes. They're doing all kinds of bold things.
It's not unwelcome.
It's not unwelcome. No, it's very funny. Yeah, we know the compliments.
I'm starting to get confused.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see, and it soon is bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. You and your plans make this romance too hot to handle, too hot. Stars in the night, blazing the light, can't hold a candle, no, not to your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside.
Very good job, remembering everything that we can put together.
Pressing buttons.
Really cool. One thing that I just noticed now, which is worth
I know you're not. You're doing great.
anywhere, the too hot to handle, candle, no not. And going to ask the person listening how much attitude into that no not, instead of no not, right? If no one can do what you can do to me.
Want to move the video we think the two faces are great, and I don't think they're being picked up.
So in the meantime, we can talk about the next section of the song.
Sorry, were you saying
Yeah.
no, not and not to be sure, but we know not rather than no, no.
It's a good question. So,
That's, isn't he very silly? Yeah. Do you know what 2 plus 2 is?
No, not.
Haha, that's right.
See,
Crazy and the Lano.
If it was kind of not with an exclamation mark, absolutely not. Or no, no.
that's right. It's a good question. I don't know what's the word right now. Can we do no not, as in no not, exclamation point right now? the emphasis is on the not. No, not. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll tell you.
What now? Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just trying to find where we are, right? And then we come into wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon in your eyes. It's feels a little bit manic, doesn't it?
Going insane.
Yeah, but you don't know what to do with yourself, right? Because these are all very different things. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. Right? Lots of things that come in threes have a certain pattern to them. Right? We generally expect threes to build an intensity in some way. But at the very least, we need to feel that these are three very distinct things. Right? Cry, croon, laugh like a loon. The sense of, I really I don't know what's what. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of different feelings, and I have trouble sorting them, and they're just all going around here inside of me, and sometimes this comes out, and sometimes that comes out, and I can't control it, right? It's really like you're not in control of your feelings of yourself at that point. And laugh like a loon implies that also, right? Where
we have it again later though, and it's more dramatic later. So,
yeah, I'd say in general, guys, when we talk about, and this isn't always true. Generally, when we talk about the arc of a song, right, it generally grows in intensity as we go on, and we have little sort of ebbs and flows as we go up. Like we don't just want to go straight line, more intense, because that'll lose its effect on the audience as well. But in general, we'll find that emotions and our expression of them get stronger and more intense as we get to the end of the song. So absolutely, we always need to be mindful when we make choices of where can we still go after this, right? Do we still have room to grow, to explore? If the answer is no, we probably need to make a different choice at this point in time. If the answer is no in the tag, that's fine, right? Because that's the point where the answer should be no. Like we have nowhere else to go, this is the end of the story, the end of the song.
I think the first time we say it, we have all these conflicting things and we're like, sorry, are we going mad? The second time we don't actually mind going mad.
Decide just to go for it.
Go for it, exactly. I'm still feeling the emotions, but I'm okay with it now.
Absolutely. Here we're still kind of on the edge. And a lot of this is about, am I going to let myself fall? No, that's too scary. Am I like, well, how am I going to? And the end of the song is I'm fully committing, I'm fully letting go, whatever I'm feeling, I'm going for this, right? That's going to be, because that's already what we've defined. We've defined that the end point is that there's an understanding, there's an agreement, and we're going forward.
I think the bears can't do maths.
Well, isn't there an element of doubt though? Should I?
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole song really. I mean,
Yes.
the title itself, Old and the Moon, implies he or she has been here before. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I definitely think it's never like, oh, my doubts are gone, and I fully know what I'm getting into. But it's you've reached a tipping point, right? Even though I have all these doubts, all these feelings, and I'm not sure, I'm still going to say yes and go for it. But it doesn't take away that I'm still feeling all this uncertainty, anxiety, stress, whatever I'm feeling about it also. It's still there. So, can here as well, in this section, Wanna Cry, Wanna Croon, really lean into, first of all, the lyrics, right? Like really cry, croon, laugh, like, right? These are all very expressive words that you can really lean into. And, right, cry can be like, I imagine there's a certain, why are we crying?
I think it's something interesting. I didn't know this was possible, and then this, what am I missing out on? I'm sad now. All the times you didn't get this.
Right?
Or hysterically.
That's another choice.
I think of, I'm thinking of, I'm seeing it at the moment that, you want to just QI
exactly. I think that is kind of, it is just one exit point for all of what is brewing inside. Can we go for a little bit more then?
It's an exit.
We go from the lead singing to Razzle Dazzle, is that okay? To you Razzle Dazzle. Okay, hold on. Further down together. Yeah, that's it. You now you've got. Okay.
To you razzle dazzle, you got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes.
Right? This already has a little shit. I think we can eke more out of it, right? Especially like laugh like a loon. How much can we lean into that? Because that laughing like a loon is almost, it's probably also relieving up to a certain degree. It's like that's another way for those feelings to just come out and just a little bit of air, a little bit of space. As in, not what I'm asking you to do vocally, but what it might do to you emotionally when you have all these feelings and just allow yourself to oh my God, what's happening to me, right? That's a little bit of what I'm imagining, or at least how I would imagine it for myself. Can we just run it again?
Yeah, to you razzle dazzle. How do you say these first? 1, 2.
To you razzle dazzle, you got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes, calling to me.
Yeah, we need to do that eventually. I will do that.
Cool. Absolutely, this is cool. And then we reach very natural change points, right? Because there's two big musical things happening that tell us, inform us, something also needs to be changing in the story and what's happening. First of all, key change, right? Something arrangers, a tool they give us, and also a very clear demarcation point, like beware, singer, something big changes here, right? And secondly, the melody shifts, which is another sort of tool that the arranger has to tell us, like, oh, we're taking a different direction, or we're adding a different perspective. So in this case, calling to me, bassist, take the melody. I see inside Lee. In fact, in this section, it moves back and forth between.
Yeah, they have person in the bars out for
Exactly.
and then the chromatic sections are all bets are off. Who knows what the changes there?
I know the feeling. As I say, it's from personal experience with this. So what is the reason why the melody would be shifting?
The magic is working.
Yeah.
Magic is working, yeah.
I think the lead part on the calling to me is a bit like a siren, you know, like luring. So it has to be in the distance. It has to be further away. So, you know,
Further away.
step on.
That's brilliant.
And another idea that it gives me is that, like, we're sharing different experiences. Like, for parts of it, we're telling the lead story, we're supporting that. And then maybe from the bass section we get but I've had this experience, or I've been there. Right? And the baritones are like, yeah, us too. Right? Right? So then we get a sense of because we've said before, right? It's like you feel like no one has ever had this happen to them. Like this is magic. This is witchcraft. And then maybe you find that actually There's people who've been struck by lightning in the same way. Could we play with that and see what that does? So whenever your section has the melody, I would like you to really channel that feeling of, yeah, I know what you're saying. I've had that experience. Right? There's a certain empathy to that. Like, hey, Leeds, yeah, I know what that feels like. It's terrifying, isn't it? It's also cool. And it may or may not end well. To be decided.
So let's go from wanna cry, wanna cry. Cry, wanna cry. So our lead sing wanna and everyone else comes in on cry. So faces are cry, wanna cry. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. Calling to me, I see. Suddenly some spell has seen your eyes. It's mesmerizing, hypnotizing, bewitching me.
So far. I actually want to explore something else before we do this. Because right now, the bass actually has to work pretty hard to take that melody. And really, it's the rest of the chorus's responsibility to make that easier and to give them all the room in the world to express. Because when they're working to be heard, they don't have as much room to be expressing the way they want to. So can we run this again? And the other parts really give the space for the melody to move to the basses so that they have free reign in how they're going to be singing that. Can we do that?
So you are further away. Wanna cry, wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. Calling to me, I see. Suddenly some spell I see your eyes. It's mesmerizing, hypnotizing, bewitching me. Oh, I see that devil moon you stole right from the skies. That captivating, sedating moon shining in your eyes.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. We're just going to be running that again a little bit just to get that feeling. Because already, if we give space to the way the melody shifts here and then shifts there, right, that already changes so much texturally that it's also working to keep the audience interested, right? Because we're looking like, oh, there, and then there. But what we don't want is that the audience goes like, where's the melody? I'm not sure if I can hear the melody. That is not the type of because the moment they're kind of in thinking, analyzing brain, right? They're not fully engaged with your performance. They're thinking, not feeling. So as well, again, just get that feeling of that kind of shifting of the melody, giving space to that.
I see the bass solo as really starting from the it's calling me, the it's calling me. So I think we need to come down maybe just a fraction earlier. I think we came down to the right level. It just took us maybe a bar too long.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Wanna cry, 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 wanna cry. Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. Calling me to me, I see. Suddenly some spell I see your eyes. It's mesmerizing, hypnotizing, bewitching me. Oh, I can see that devil moon you stole right from the skies. That captivating, sedating moon shining in your eyes. With your glance, I get hot like
Right, so these are just, and sometimes that's all, right, performance coaches I love to work with, we very much says we have to honor the music in our performance, right, and sometimes all we have to do is to make room for what the arranger has done for us, right, and so in this section we can really feel that when we honor the music and we give the space to the shifting melody, that already does so much for how interesting this section is to listen to and how much impact it will have over there, without layering all sorts of other things on top. Like that already does so much.
You couldn't have looked anywhere else but to where they showed. Like we were very drawn to what you guys were doing. It was really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? And so, and this is something we always have to do, but whenever we're supporting a melody, it has to be with that energy of yes and, yes I agree, like I hear what, right? That is, whenever we're supporting a melody, that is what we want to be conveying to the audience. It's like, listen to them because I agree with what they're saying. Yeah. And it's really cool because you're already making quite a choice as you're moving into the next section, right? You're already making an expressive choice there, which I really like. And I love seeing that, I love feeling that, how you're taking that space and saying like, oh, actually, I think I know where I want to go with this.
Cool, so same.
Wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. Calling to me, I see it suddenly, some spell I've seen your eyes. It's mesmerizing, hypnotizing, bewitching me. Oh, I can see that devil moon. You stole right from the skies, that captivating, sedating moon shining in your eyes. With your glance, I get hot like a burning candle, like a burning candle. Stars blazing in the night can't handle your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high.
Actually goosebumps until there. The way you're building that, I mean, the way you're building that as we're coming out of that section, like with a glance until there, feels appropriate, feels natural, feels genuine, and is really cool. So then the only question then remains, like where do we go from there, kind of to the tag to the end? That's kind of what we're looking for. And I'm just going to reference. And because where we ended, another key change. Lots of abilities, right? Razzle dazzle, you got me flying high. And a lot of these are repeated lyrics, right? Compared to the first half of the song. Even what we've just sung, with your glance, you know, like burning candle, slicing candle, flying fire. So, as we talked about earlier, that means that the onus is on us as performers to make different choices, to give different meaning this time around, because the lyrics isn't doing it for us, right? So we have to take that responsibility. So, and I get a sense that we're already making a choice in that direction, because what I'm getting from you is more confidence, more committed to a certain degree, right? There's more enjoyment of the feeling, right, that we're getting.
You know the direction we're going.
Right?
Seeing it in
That,
it feels that way.
Let's just make one lyric, but it's not an exact lyric. It's one eye. Yeah, Colin.
Okay.
right? Right, so we're building and we have that excitement, like with your glance, I get hot like a burning candle. Can handle your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high. And one of the things that we have to be aware of, and that's part of the reason why I want to talk through the section a little bit, is that, right, we're building up to really nice intensity and confidence, and any type of feeling and dynamic will saturate the audience. Right? So if we're not careful, the song invites us to stay there for at least another full page, and then we have a tag. Right? And that is going to lose its effect, no matter how wonderful the execution of it is. Right? It's only because of intimacy that we can feel, right? Like the intense, we always have to balance for maximum effect. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking for in this last section. Right? And this is skipping forward a little bit. The only way in which we're going to make the tag exciting is if we start it from an intimate place, because like there's just so much room to grow. The big secret of a big crescendo is how quietly and how small we can start beforehand, because the audience perceives contrast, not absolute decibel numbers. So I think building it through, I don't know, we're lost.
So we're going around 7.
Yes, exactly. Jockey flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride. And the music gives us a bit of an opportunity, right? Fly on the magic carpet ride, also melodically still right building. And then we actually, the melody also starts moving down in the ranges. So again, like we can always experiment with any choices, and the music can also help us make informed choices about our performance. So, magic carpet ride, probably fully enjoying that, maybe less fear this time, but then we still go back to I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside.
Yeah, I think that's I like the way even the rhythm there lets you kind of sit with the butterflies. Do you know the way?
It's nice.
Absolutely.
It moves from passive to active.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? And so at the start of the song, things are happening to us. We are getting bewitched. Things are being stolen from us like kisses and a moon from the sky. And I feel like here we're making the change to we're buying it, we're enjoying it, we're feeling the butterflies, and we're still choosing to take the next step and to sort of give in. Right? So they're still butterflies, and they're still, when you feel them, and I want you to feel them when you sing them, right? They're still going to do something to you, for you, vocally, musically. But it's not in the uncertainty, right? It's not in the, when should I? But it's the, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens. Right? That can also be butterflies. Can we pick it up on the with your glance?
Yeah. So we've got you're on the way with your glance.
Yeah.
With your glance at the leaves. Our touch said it, our touch not you.
I know those. Right, because you're in technical brain right now, which is fair. But that is a very different delivery to how you were delivering it when we came out of the section before. Right, so part of your responsibility is going to be that when we're working on notes, we're given pitch, that our head is not only in the technical words and notes, but I have to be aware of where am I in the song and what does that mean for my performance, my delivery, right? So I'm just giving you the reminder, right? When we're here, like you were giving us a really, like actually just like really sexy, really like, right? There was a fun in it. Try to harken back to how you were delivering it when you came out of the previous section, right? Because that is what the habit we want to build. That's the main thing. If we only, like if we perform it one way, we're in the full song, but we pick it up halfway and we don't, then we're building inconsistent habits, right? Don't want to do that.
Stars blazing in the night can handle your
up, and they do so really well for where we want to go emotionally and dynamically. Right? You get in your eyes. So the rest of the parts, we're singing over that up to a certain degree. So again, we have to be mindful of effectively for there, the melody is shifting to the bass for a little bit. And they're leading us into where we want to go next. But they have trouble doing that if we're still super high intensity above them, right? That doesn't give them the freedom to make that your eyes the most interesting, right, that they can. So that's an awareness thing. Yeah, and for now I understand, right, also for the technical thing, really leaning into the rhythmical choices that are in the arrangement and really like enjoying those is going to really help catapult this section in terms of energy, right? And that's like, that is something just for the backlog, right? That's something we're going to be doing, and that's perfectly fine. But the more you can lean into the enjoyment, it's like the, I wanna, right? Even the rhythm gives it a very different feeling compared to when we first sing that phrase. So the more you can lean into that, the more effective that's going to be.
Super. Right here, back.
With your glance, I get out like a burning candle, like a burning candle. Stars blazing in the night can handle your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high on that carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside. I wanna cry, wanna groove, wanna laugh just like a loon when I see that old devil moon in your eyes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to stop you.
Sorry.
I was meaning to make you aware of this was the moment where we're going to be listening for the basses. Let's just do one more time. Like.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially for the leads when you're really going for that, I wanna, right? That really adds so much character and really tells us where we're going as well, right? That is not uncertain, that is not, I'm not sure if we're going to go. That is signposting, right? Where's the song going to end? Yeah.
So just for the automatic carpet ride, it's the second time around you go from you stay on the go. Automatic carpet ride, you stay there. Because I think that's kind of leading you back to the first one. Yeah. Don't worry, when we start in the middle, it's really tricky. But you are doing phenomenal. With your glance, 1, 2, 3.
With your glance, I get hot like a burning candle, like a burning candle. Stars blazing in the night can handle your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high on that carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside. I wanna cry, wanna groove, wanna laugh just like a loon when I see that old devil moon in your eyes. I think I'm free as a dove. Old devil moon deep in your eyes finds me with love, with love, with love, with love, with love. In your eyes I'm always blinded
Cool. Okay, we're going to be working at last, just with the time that's left, we're going to be working at last with just a little bit more, right? So we've already said, right, at this point, we know where we're going. Now, we still have to let the other person know that it's going to be a yes. But I think this tag is that we're going to be milking that moment for all it's worth, right? We're not just going to give them a simple, yeah, okay, I'm going to go for it. But we're going to have as much fun with before we say yes as we possibly can, right? I feel like that is what this tag is about, is that it's not a simple, yes, happy ending, but it's like it's building suspense, suspense, suspense into celebration. Like that's what it feels like. So then And let's pick it up just for the sake of time from there, right? From the you rise from the basics, right? So, how? I'm going to ask you, how long in this tag can you keep us guessing as to what the end is going to be? Kind of how suspenseful can you make it before turning, and let's, I'd say when the bases start posting on love, right? That's probably when we're giving away the clue and we're building from there. But can we try and see if we keep it exciting and suspenseful and a little bit uncertain until then?
Your eyes, that's what I think. 1, 2, 1, 2. Your eyes, that's what I think. I'm free as a dove. Oh, devil moon, deep in your eyes, blinds me with love, with love, with love, with love, with the devil moon in your eyes. I'm always blinded.
Right? And what that does, right, it gives us just more range, right? We're really just giving away little bit by little bit, because there's nowhere in this tag that allows us to take a step back. No. Right? The moment we start the tag, it's one straight line until the end. So that really means that we have two things that we can work with. It's our starting point, right? Where do we start? And the rate of increase, like how quickly are we giving away the intensity, the joy, the celebration, right? And the more we can hold back a little bit, the more exciting it is out there to feel like, oh, where's it gonna go, where's it gonna go? And then when you hit those final chords, that's really exciting. I'd like us to do a run-through of the whole thing, but not before. I'd like to ask you, what are some things you are taking away? Maybe, like, because what we've done here, we've worked with this piece of music, and what we've done is applicable to any piece of music, right? So what are things you're taking away, either for Old Devil Moon or for other music? I'd just love to hear some thoughts.
Creating a narrative.
Act it out.
Calm
Calm
down.
down. So her journey, maybe musicians, intention.
You know, when the composer has told us, hello, do something.
Sometimes too much isn't too much, because we're Irish.
Or Dutch, really.
Northern European in general.
I think letting yourself go.
I love that. Yeah, that permission, right? That freedom for each and every single one of you. And I think that comes back to something that we really want for the performance category, is that we want each of you to show up as humans, right? As humans that sing. And you all know how to do that best because you're you, but that also means that each one of you is going to show up in a slightly different way, right? Because it's true to whoever you are. But that is what we're looking for. And so I hope that today I've given you some tools and some ideas and some permission to do that. And I just love to feel what the whole song is.
Maybe realising that you can be very loud and be loud as well.
Yeah.
And they, through our body language and other ways that we're, like, use just other techniques in the song writers. Like, oh, no, this is a song, yes, I would just
Absolutely.
I think it's just become so like a Shakespearean sonnet.
That's very...
The change between the first half and the second half, the verses in the middle.
Absolutely.
That's a classy one there.
Wow. First time I've heard that.
All right. Are we saying?
And this is a bad habit that I'm going into. You're not going to remember everything, right? And that's okay. You have everything recorded, and there's more work to be done just to make it habitual, and to get it into your system. So whatever you remember is perfect. and have fun with it. Have fun with all of it.
Everything about you blinds me with your love. Look at you and suddenly something in your eyes I see, and it soon begins bewitching me, bewitching me. It's that old devil moon that you stole from the skies. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. You and your glance make this romance too hot to handle, too hot. Stars in the night, blazing the light, candle to candle, no knock to your razzle dazzle. You've got me flying high and wide on a magic carpet ride, and I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside. I wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh like a loon. It's that old devil moon deep in your eyes. Calling to me, I see you. Suddenly some stars I see in your eyes. It's mesmerizing, hypnotizing, bewitching me. Oh, I see that devil moon you stole right from the skies. That captivating, sedating moon shining in your eyes. With your glance, I get hot like a burning candle, like a burning candle. Stars blazing in the night can't handle your razzle dazzle. You got me flying high on a magic carpet ride. I'm full of butterflies inside, deep inside. I wanna cry, wanna croon, wanna laugh just like a loon when I see that old devil moon in your eyes. And I think I'm free as a dove. Oh, devil moon deep in your eyes binds me with love, with love, with love, with love. With the devil moon in your eyes, I'm always blinded.
Well done.
Can we say a massive thank you to Naud? Squish it, social party, more people in the front. Congregation approach. Stay in the front so we can see. And there we go. All in. Good. More. Finally, Thank you, everybody. That was amazing. I will put that video on our YouTube channel so that you can watch it. Alright, I'm going to put it on all of your listeners so that we can watch it ourselves and that it's not available to everyone who wants it. Just for us. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, you're so welcome.
So much. That'll be fun. We'll have a great time. Lots of singing. It's just that whole thing of like, brilliant. Thanks very much. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Where are we going now? Absolutely.
Oh, it's fantastic.
The lads are here.
I'm not sure where lovely for her.
No, we get you in meeting time. Won't you come to us? Some person, if you were here, like, if you were here, let her know. Maybe contact her and let her know.
We had a great night actually with you in meeting time that night. Remember in the old church?
Absolutely.
We had two beautiful things.
Yeah, I was just without saying one word about that.
Exactly.
So yes,
Gladly,
yeah. Will
I'd
you?
love
Do you
to.
will I get her to email you? Or you have
I have her contact details, so I'll definitely do that.
Thank you. We'd love to have her. Okay. Bye bye.
There's a lot of things going on.
I'm like, okay.
It's like straight in.